Fitness is convenience. And if you have a hard time understanding the value of fitness, you have to picture this: depression, migraines, chronic pain, and early death. Those are the things that come into life without fitness, because your world becomes much more difficult. So we have to think of fitness as convenience. And once you become fit, you become much more successful, happier, you can relieve pain better, and your life becomes much easier for you. So to further establish my point that fitness is convenience, we're gonna look at 3 essential components in our lives that prove that point. So first, we're gonna start off with daily activities. And so we need to start with the end in mind. One day we're gonna get old, we're gonna be aging, and so we need to understand how we're gonna be able to handle things like bathing, cooking, and cleaning, because these are things that we're gonna be doing the rest of our lives, right? So think about cleaning your room, making your bed, carrying groceries into the house. The worse your health gets, the harder it gets to do tasks like this, and you become a burden to the people around you. And so one thing I always tell my clients, I'm a personal trainer, I always tell them that the day you can't get up from the toilet is the day you say goodbye to your freedom and your vitality. And the scientific research supports this point as well. There's a study out of Japan that demonstrated that individuals who are lacking physical activity, as they aged, they were associated with higher rates of chronic pain, and they developed frailty sooner and died sooner. This is because their bodies were getting so much weaker because they weren't exercising. And also what they discovered is that there was not only physical pain, but emotional pain too. Because once you lose your autonomy and your vitality with your fitness, you become a burden to those around you, and it's an emotional toll on you as you get older, and you lead to an earlier death. So the second essential topic is raising children / service to others if you're someone that doesn't want to have kids. So like I mentioned in the first point, if we don't maintain this fit lifestyle, we're going to become a burden to the people around us, and we're not going to be able to do what we want as parents, as servants to humanity, because we aren't able to serve others physically. And so we have to understand that we become much more stronger and endurable when we are fit, and become an extremely positive role model for those around us by being fit as well. And so we have to understand that heart disease right now, it's one of the biggest killers in the world, and heart failure is highly associated with high levels of sedentary behavior and a lack of physical activity. So we need to keep our heart strong and healthy, and we need to spend more time on our feet, more time exercising. This is what's going to permit us the ability to spend more quality time with loved ones and then serve others too. And so that's an important concept to understand when you're thinking about fitness in the long term. And so now to touch on travel, adventure is one of the most liberating activities that we can experience. And so it's a shame when we are incapable of experiencing travel. And so we need to feel physically fit so we aren't dreading those long walks in the parking lots, or spending too much time on our feet, and the sun is too sunny and I'm sweating now. When you're fit, you just you learn to bear with things like that. And being resilient and grateful during your traveling experiences are going to permit you more pleasurable experiences, because you're not going to be annoyed and irritated. So an associated topic with travel I want to talk about is the personality trait openness to experience, because interestingly enough, it has a connection to depression and migraines. So neurologists, they discovered that the less we open ourselves up to these new experiences in travel, the more likely we're going to adopt depression and suffer from migraines because of stubbornness and general irritation and a lack of resilience. And that's a final little note I wanted to add on the connection between travel and fitness and general well-being, because we want to be open to experience and let life come to us and experience new things, because that's a way more pleasurable experience. So before I dive into what we need to do today to get into a fit lifestyle, I just want you to think about the person you could become if you decide to take your health and fitness seriously. We have to think of all the positive effects that could arise from these improvements. And when we do this thought experiment, you're probably gonna see yourself feeling confident, pain-free, earning more money, less depressed overall. And so this type of visualization is super powerful, because it actually helps you keep your goals in focus and understand the possibility of achieving a life that has that. Okay, so now let's think about the person you'll become if you do not take your health and fitness seriously. Right away, you're probably thinking in your head, you're gonna notice that your self-esteem will be way worse, your self-image will dramatically decline, and no doubt you're gonna see yourself becoming more depressed because you are unable to do the tasks that you typically find joy doing comfortably. And lastly, the other components of your life will lose their sense of safety, because your mind and your body will become ill. Oofta. So now I'm going to talk about how to execute. So if we do these 3 things I'm going to talk about, your life will be much easier for you. Number 1, stand up. But for real, okay? So as I mentioned earlier, sedentary behavior is going to make you develop disease much faster. So try out the 30-minute rule. And this is what I use when I'm doing work, so on the computer or something. So if you notice you've been sitting down for 30 minutes, you got to go ahead and stand up for the next 30 minutes. And so even if you work with a computer, you can do this. You just got to, if you have a standing desk, that's cool, or you can just use a taller platform. And so if you're wondering what sedentary behavior is, I just realized it might be good to explain it. It literally just means sitting down. Like when you're sitting down, that's sedentary behavior. So the second thing I want to recommend is doing step-ups or just walking up the stairs. So if you're going to go to the gym and you work out and you do your legs, do the step-up exercise. That's all you do is you stand up onto a platform 1 foot at a time. It's going to be like 10 to 30 inches above the ground, depending on your skill level. But all you got to do is about 3 sets of 10, each leg, 2 or 3 times per week. And just continue to increase the weights that you hold. You could be holding weights in your hands. Some people you can hold on your back, but it's always easier just holding your hands. But this exercise is going to make life much easier for you because this is very applicable to our lives, just walking up the stairs, hiking a mountain, etc. So the third and final execution point is to do squats, especially with weights. So they're guaranteed to boost your fitness and make life way more easier for you because you got to remember your legs, they're huge, they're strong, they're powerful. They help you get up off the chair or like I mentioned at the beginning, get off the toilet. And so we need to get our lower body strong. So what we can do is when we go to the gym, we can get dumbbells, do a goblet squat. You just place it here above your chest, squat down, squat back up. Or if you're more advanced, obviously, you're going to want to put it on your back and do the barbell back squat or front squat in the front. And they require a lot of practice and patience to perfect the form, but you should always aim to do what feels safe and use a load that will challenge yourself, okay? So you continue to get stronger. And if you're someone that can't do squats right now, it's just you have pain or whichever, you can set a chair below you or a box so that way you just get comfortable with the motion and your legs feel better. Overall, you need to perfect the form though. So you can do a simple YouTube search or you can reach out to me, Ethan Etchart Fitness @gmail.com, or follow me on Instagram too, @Ethan Etchart. And that's gonna conclude the video of why fitness is convenience. Lastly, like and subscribe, follow this account. I'm excited to post more content that has to do with health and wellness. I'm a trainer and here I am, Ethan Etchart.